There's one. Get the net. That's a big fish. Oh, that's a good one. Come on, get the net. That's a fish, Tyler. That's a good fish. Oh, man. Ooh, that one did not feel that big, Kyler. Yeah! Boom, baby! Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a pit video, and I'm going to break down North 21. I'm going to break it down because it has a special kind of species in it that I'm going to talk about. Before I jump into the video here, if you're new to the channel, if you would become a subscriber, my number one goal when I started this was to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I am just over 40 subscribers from hitting that 1,000 mark. So that's an awesome accomplishment, and I want to thank everybody out there that is a subscriber for subscribing to the channel and supporting the channel and watching the videos. It has been awesome to be doing this and to just watch it grow like it has. I never thought that anybody would really watch any of the content that I would put out there. But the more I do it, the more confident I'm getting. And the more I'm enjoying doing it, I'm actually learning a lot from doing these videos. Not so much the pit videos. I am learning because I'm fishing new pits too to get better breakdowns of the pits, but also a lot of the other stuff I'm doing. Breaking down my lake videos and tournaments from the lakes. I'm actually learning a lot and learning why the fish was there, doing these breakdowns and explaining it to everybody. And if you would like the video, and if you got any comments, comment on the video. And if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments, or you can look me up on Facebook. Go straight to my Facebook page, Levi Snow, and send me a message on there. And I'll answer any question you guys got, especially about the Mineland Wildlife Area. Since I grew up here and I got so much experience out here, I can answer a lot of questions about this area for you. Okay, so let's jump into here. North 21 is also known as, it's a canoe trail, so it'd be North Canoe Trail. A lot of the locals know it as Canoe Trail. And it is located on Northwest 80th between Northwest Star Valley and Northwest Bellevue. It is on the east side of the road there. You go from the T there, it would be just west of the game warden station. There's a T there, and you'll go north, or I say game warden station, it'd be the Mineland Wildlife Station right there. You can see it. It's off Sportsman's Pit Road, which is 70th. And you'll go north there, and it's a half a mile, and there's a road there that goes back to the east, and that'll take you there. And I think it's closed down for a certain time of the year. I forget exactly what that time is. I think they close it down for hunting season during the winter time. So it depends on what winter month you go in there. I can't remember the exact dates when it's shut down. It might just be for deer season. I'm not exactly sure on that. The boat ramp is good for any ramp or any boats of any size. I know I got my 17.5-foot ProCraft bass boat and have no problems getting in there, and it has plenty of room. And then the parking is also really, really good there. You can see in the video here, I'll show you guys the ramp and the parking. That's really nice there. Now, this pit is different from all the other ones, and this is why I chose to do this pit breakdown right now, is because of what's in it. It's got striped bass in it. I'm pretty sure they're stripers, if I'm 100% sure. I know it's a striper. Yeah, it would be a striper because they're bigger than white bass, so they're stripers. I don't think they're wipers because there ain't no white bass in there, so I'm pretty sure they're stripers that are in it. I'm pretty sure the Kansas Wildlife and Park stocked them in there, but don't quote me on that, not 100% sure. I just know that these striped bass are in here, and what's different, that's what makes this pit different from all the other ones, because this is the only pit that I'm pretty sure of that has striped bass in it. And these stripers, if you guys want to go out and catch a fish that puts up a really amazing fight, it's this striper. I caught one, I'll get into the video here later in the video about how I figured this out, which is actually right now. I figured this out the second time I was in here. I've only fished it twice. And the second time I went in there to learn how to use the front-facing sonar, because the first time I was in here, it was really clear water. So I was like, this would be a good place to go try out the front-facing sonar and dial it in a little better and kind of understand what's going on and how to read it. So I was fishing down through there and I was throwing a wiggle wort, and I seen a school of some decent sized fish, and there was about 15 or 20 of them together. And I was wondering what that was, because I was like, bass don't school up usually largemouth and that many together, and those are really big returns. So I cast just a wiggle wort out there. It was just, I believe it was a green style wiggle wort or a brown style wiggle wort out there. And one of them just came up and just slammed it. I watched it on the front facing sonar compass slam it, and I was like, whoa, what is this thing? And I was about to jerk the rod out of my hand. And I got it up there, and it ended up being a striper. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know these were in there. And then after doing a little more research and posting on Facebook, I found out that they was in there. So if you guys are looking to catch a different species, give North 21 a try to try and catch some striped bass. So now let's get into the bass fishing here and kind of the breakdown of what it has to offer. So I fished this pit 2 times. I've only caught 8 bass out of it in the 2 times. The first time I went there with my son in the summer, and I caught 7. And then another time in January, that cold January day, I caught the 1 bass and then the striped bass as well. So I've averaged 4 largemouth per trip in there. Out of those 8, one of them was an 18-incher in the summertime on a big hammer, buzz hammer, with a 4-inch big hammer swim bait on that. I've also enjoyed fishing this pit for bass. Oh, sorry, I skipped over some notes there. The pit, it is just over about 17 acres in size with about 1.8 miles of shoreline. So there's quite a bit to fish there. It'd take you about to fish the whole thing about 4 to 5 hours. If you fish it real slow, you could fish it pretty fast in about 3 hours, though, if you want to just cover water quickly. But you can spend quite a while in there, but it's not that big a pit. Now, I've also, I've really enjoyed fishing this pit, even though I haven't caught that much from it. That many bass every time I've been in there, but the ones I have been some decent sized fish. Like I said, that one was a 18-incher. Then I've had quite a few 15 and 16 inchers in there as well. The top water is what caught the 18-incher, and it's Big Hammer Lures, Buzz Hammer is what it's called. And I had a 4-inch Big Hammer on there, but you can also throw a naked buzz bait or just throw a normal buzz bait, but I like to throw that naked either with the buzz hammer or a naked buzz bait without anything on it. Then I throw a 3.5-inch Big Hammer swim bait as the trailer. Jigs have produced very good for me in here as well, specifically the 2K jigs, Little Punk and a 5/16 ounce. The 3/16 ounce works too, but it's a little deeper and clearer. So I like to throw the 5/16 for the faster fall in there. And I was throwing that in pumpkin purple that summer day I was in there, and it was really liking that. And the Big Hammer ringer worm is also really effective in there. Your ribbon tail worms work really good in there in the summertime too, when they're biting the Texas rig crawls. The colors I would throw, watermelon red and magic bug in the Big Hammer ringer worm work really effectively. The water clarity is pretty clear. It's really clear. It's about as clear as some of the clearer pits. There's quite a few laydowns up on the bank to fish. That's one other thing I like about it. And these bass seem to stay up shallower on them when the times I have been in there. Color-wise, in jerkbaits, swim baits, and crankbaits, I would go with your natural shad colors or more translucent colors because of that cleaner water. Now the crankbaits, like your wiggle warts, imitating crawfish, I try the green colors in light browns. Wouldn't try anything too bright or dark because of that clean water. In ribbon tail worms and other plastics, I would throw natural colors like watermelon plum, green pumpkin. And then in jigs, PB&J or anything with pumpkin or purple has worked great for me. But also I would try green pumpkin or watermelons. And a little bit of blue and red mixed in with the green pumpkin and watermelons would be something I would try as well. For the striped bass, I'm not 100% sure because I don't striper fish. But from what I've seen from other videos and posts and read about stripers, I would try shad color crankbaits and swim baits Also in the colder water, I would throw the A-rig or try trolling crankbaits around for them, for those striped bass. Now let's jump into breaking down this pit. Here you will see 3 sections. I'm going to break this pit down into 3 sections. First is going to be the red, second is going to be the green, third is going to be the yellow section. The orange in the picture, that's your boat ramp. Now, first, this is the red area. Red. These are my 2 favorite sections in this area right here. Red is a deeper bank with good brush laydowns up there on the bank. The red dots are kind of just showing where the laydowns kind of are. That's not the exact locations. I haven't been here enough to really pinpoint any locations of great laydowns in here for you guys and single one out. And then the yellow on the left side is a point, and it's got a big flat on it. If you see looking on Google Earth there, you can see it. And that grass grows up on that point out there. And this is a good area with the wigglewort style crankbait in the early spring before that grass really grows in there. Early spring, like March and April. And I've caught some good fish, not in there, but in other pits like this, throwing that wigglewort on banks just like that. Jigs and Texas rigs are good after when the water does warm up, which the jig's still good also in the colder water, and the Texas rigs really pick up when it's, especially the ribbon tail worms, when the water warms up. Then in the late fall, I like to throw a jerk bait. It's great over that grass before that grass dies off. That's great in any of the pits that have any grass and are clear before that last grass dies off. They like to sit on that in any pit. If you guys watch my videos, you'll see that, especially the pit tournament videos. The orange, these are 2 other good points that I would like to focus on if you went in there. And they're not as flat, but this is a good area that really stands out to me that would be great in the early spring when they're biting that wigglewort bite, or even right before spawn, moving into spawn. They would like to stage on those points right there. Now the green, this is a backwater here. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't been in there when the water's really been up, but I think if the water comes up, you could get in there and it could be accessible by a small boat. Not for sure if a bass boat could ever get in there, but a small boat like a kayak or a scamper, a john boat, you might be able to get back in there. And that's an area to look at if it gets up in there and bass will get back up there and feed, or even in the springtime spawn back in there. Now the second is the green area. The orange here, that's going to be your boat ramp. And then the purple, this is going to be the parking area I was talking about. It's got some good parking in there, as you can see. A lot of room to park around, which usually the pits ain't too full, so you ain't got to worry about too much parking. But it's got good parking for a truck and a bass boat to get in there. And then the yellow, red, is the bank. I recommend out of this area right here, where I've had more success, only the couple times I've been in there. And then the red dots, once again, are the brush and laydowns along the bank. It's got some along there. And then the yellows, that would be the areas that I would focus on that have some grass. If I was in there, depending on the time of the year, that would be the other areas to focus on in that area. Now, the third is the yellow area, and this is actually where I caught that 18-incher. I can't remember exactly where it was down through there. I know it was over along the red bank there, and that's the bank I've done the best on, fishing the brush laydowns. This has pretty much been the #1 bank for me right in this pit. And then the yellow, I've done well on this bank and caught a couple, but it just hasn't really been that consistent for me. It's just been one here and there. And that's about all I really can tell you about this pit, because I haven't fished it a whole lot. And I chose to do this breakdown on this pit, like I said, mainly to let everybody know that it's got striped bass in it. And if you guys are looking to go out and you're not full out bass fishermen, or you want to go out and you want to try and catch a different fish, you can go out there and try to catch the stripers out there. Even some live bait might work for those stripers. Not exactly sure what those stripers like to eat. But I would say trolling a crankbait, or in the colder water, go out and throw an Alabama rig with swim baits on it, and you should catch some of those stripers. Like I said, the ones I seen were schooling up in the 15 to 20 of them in a school, and that one I caught was about 4 or 5 pounds. I didn't weigh it. Might have been a little bigger than that. 4, 5, 6, 7 pounds. It was a pretty big thing. So if you guys are looking to change things up, Just remember that in North 21 here, it's got the striped bass in it, and you can catch it. And it's also got some decent bass fishing in it. I've only been in there twice. There might be bigger ones in there. Might have been in there on some bad days. I know that summer day I was in there. It was pretty decent. Like I said, we caught me and my son. We caught 7 of them in there, which isn't too bad for some pits. Some pits are lower than that, and some pits are higher than that. Some of them can catch 70 out of. Some of them can catch 1 or 2 out of, depending on the day you're in there. And then, like I said, throwing that jig, it was really good in that summertime when I was in there. And in the wintertime, I was in there, only caught that 1, but I was still just mainly out there messing around with the live scope, just trying to get it figured out. I think it was the first time I ever took it out. Might have been the second time out there, just trying to figure out what was what and what to look at, how to read it, all that good stuff. So didn't really do a whole lot of fishing around there. I threw that wiggle word around, and I don't know if I threw a jerkbait around too much or not. I was still just trying to learn what was going on with that front-facing sonar. But hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and I'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll start getting more pit breakdowns here, and one of these days I'll have all the pits broke down out here in the Mineland Wildlife Area so you guys can watch videos on them all. Hopefully that's the plan. Thank you guys, appreciate it.